Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Oh, everybody ready for their week? It's not like we have a choice, but yeah, it is what it is. Just waiting. Hey guys, just waiting on some people to jump on. I got a couple of moderators that, all right, there's Miss Elizabeth. Oh, hold on. All right, Elizabeth, did that work? Let me know. Hey, I've missed you guys. Wondering where I've been. Well, I'm around. I am around. I'm definitely, yeah, it shows you're a moderator, Liz. Oh, hold on. I also see Kim. I think we got it. Yeah, I've been around, guys. Hey, Becca. I'm just trying to, and there's Nyx, and I see Tara. I'm just trying to get my footing back. I started back at the shop in Owasso, and it has been absolutely fabulous. Everybody who has come to see me, it's been great. I just didn't even realize how much I desperately missed. Hey, Jody. I didn't realize how, listen to my dogs. They think I'm talking to somebody, which I am. They just think there's somebody else in the house. But, so excuse that. But, I just didn't realize how much I was going to miss the interaction of people because I'm very, very, solo. I'm very introverted and I'm okay being by myself. But I don't think I really realized how much I missed, like, hugging all your necks and being around you guys. And hey, Amanda, I see you're in here. Yeah, we gotta not let anybody be raining on our parade, guys. Life is too short, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm enjoying where I'm at, and I'm enjoying getting back into the swing of things because I'm telling you, it was really, really hard. It was nice being at home because I got a lot of things formulated. I got a lot of new teas. I got a lot of new things that I had in the works. So if you guys are ever around where, oh, absolutely, Tara, the difference in like feeling you guys' energy on screen like this, it'll do, and you don't realize truly how much you miss it until those people are in front of you and you feel the absolute energy of the people who are standing in front of you and loving on you and glad to see you and happy to see you. And so it's just been heartwarming, to say the least. And what do I think of the COVID vaccine? I think it's whatever your choice is. I am fully vaccinated. I chose to do that because I have some underlying comorbidities, and I'm okay with that. So whatever you choose to do, if you choose to not be vaccinated, that is completely your decision, and I stand by whatever decision you make for yourself and your family. Thank you, Summer. I'm so glad to be back. Summer and I have actually done a collaboration to where I have a tea and I have incense, and she has her beautiful candle. I got some disposable tea bags, our business cards, and they're in this gorgeous little box. And yeah, they're a Yule blend incense, Yule teas. And then the candle, the scent matches the tea. So yeah, we've got them in the shop, and they are also in the new shop in Pawhuska. So if you guys are interested in that, and if you're interested in having one mailed to you, shipped to you, just message me on nativedreamwalker.com, and we'll work something out, and I can get it shipped out to you. And I'm telling you, they're fabulous. And the intention that we put into them, the blessings that we put into them are huge for us. Yes, Clint, I'm sorry I wasn't able to do Reiki on you. Sundays are my class day, and I do have the school going again, guys. They're every Sunday, in person. I love that, so that everybody can feel each other's energy and feel the magic, basically. And I've missed that extremely, and I'm glad that we can do that again. So yes, they are beautiful gift sets. We do have some sold already. So if you want some, because it's limited, guys, with it being the Yule blends, the Yule tea, and the Yule candle, it's for a limited time. So if you want one, just let me know. And all of my teas are in the shop as well. And they are also on my website, nativedreamwalker.com. I have free shipping through the end of the month. So, guys, get on there, because shipping is not cheap anymore, guys. It's ridiculous. But I would love to get you guys set up for Christmas and give teas to those you love. You have somebody going through menopause, I just got the last of my ingredients for the one for inflammation. And yeah, the incense is cedar. It smells very cedary. It smells very woodsy. It's very earthy. Yeah. Thank you, Nix. I have really, really it's been absolutely fabulous to get to be in the shop again and to do Reiki. I mean, just that personal interaction with people, just that personal healing, because I'm a healer. To be able to exchange energies with people again in that healing type setting has been absolutely soul cleansing, to say the least, for sure. So I'm glad. Hey, I miss you guys too. I absolutely miss you guys, but I'm telling you, I'm here every Monday night. So if you follow me here, I will always be on giving you guys some advice, talking about dream work. So a little bit about what I do is I am a dream walker. I have been a dream walker my entire life. I just didn't know what it was. I didn't know when I started explaining to Mandy when she was doing Reiki for me. I explained to her about how my dreams work and what I do, and I just didn't realize it wasn't something that everybody did, everybody could do, everybody could say. And she said, "You should look up Dreamwalker." And I said, "What is that?" I'd never heard of it. And she said, "It's somebody who can go into others' dreams." And I said, "Well, that's what I do." And she said, "Well, look it up." And I did. I went straight home after the Reiki session, and I looked it up, read about it. There's not a lot out there, guys. For what little I did read, I thought, oh my God, that's what I've been doing my entire life. So yeah, well, once I figured that out, and I figured out that my whole life as a dream walker has been helping people in their dreams, I just had no clue that that's what I was doing. And when I did figure that out in early 2020, right, it was during when everything shut down as it was just opening back up. When I figured that out, I thought, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is how I am being led to do that. Guys, if I'm missing out on some of these questions and it's something you can answer for somebody, absolutely. Because guys, a lot of the people in here are my students, past and present students. So you can trust what they're telling you. Your tea got delivered? Oh no! Yeah, I got it out literally, Amanda. You put the order in for the tea after our live last week, and I got it ready as soon as the live was over, and I got it mailed out the next morning. So yeah, it went out really, really fast. Hey, yes, guys, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So, yeah, definitely. If you guys have a question and I'm not seeing it, just trust that the people in this room are giving you correct advice. Okay? And if you are still absolutely not knowing for sure or want to speak to me personally, then you can message me on TikTok. You can message me on Instagram. You can message me on Facebook. It's all Native Dreamwalker, so you can find me on any platform. Or you can go to my website, nativedreamwalker.com, and it also has all of the information, a way for you to message me and ask me questions. If you're interested in a custom tea blend, depending on what you're needing, I'm needing to do some research for a couple of people on some herbs that are for specific ingredients. Forgive me that I haven't got to that because this was my first week back at the shop and it has been absolutely insane. I thought, oh, everybody's going to kind of ease their way back in a little bit and I'll have time to get things done that I need to get done online. I haven't had time. It's just been wall-to-wall appointments, and don't get me wrong, I am truly blessed that you guys have all found me again, and some new, and I appreciate that. But just give me some time. I have not forgotten about you. I will get you. Let's just do some custom tea blends, and we can go back and forth messaging for whatever it is you need, because I need to know what kind of medications you're on. I don't want anything to mess with your medication, mess with what you've got going on with your regular physician. I don't want to mess with that. And I'm a nurse, so I am very well versed in what medications you're on compared to what anything you're on herbally that can interact with that. And if it's something I'm not sure about, then I can find out. So just bear with me on that and we'll get it done. Hey, I'm glad you guys are here. Oh, another Capricorn. You had a dream with your grandparents that passed, but it was like an astral travel. It could have just straight up been you went to the other side and had a bit of a visit. A lot of times, guys, if you are visiting with someone who has crossed over, you get there's a lot of haste to the visit. There is, I just went through this with Elizabeth the other day. There is a lot of very, quickly, I need to tell you what I need to tell you. I'm here, I'm okay, everything's all right. When there's a lot of haste to that is usually a signifier for me that I have crossed over into that plane of existence where they reside. And there's not a lot of time for someone who is still living to be into that platform and into that area where someone who has crossed over is. They understand the significance that you are crossed over to where they're at, be it in a dream, because we are so open that if they're trying to tell you something very quickly, if they're trying to hasten the visit, or if they're trying to usher you, like rush you, like you can't be here, you need to leave, if they're doing and saying things like that, it is for your safety. Please, please listen, because your first inclination when you are over there is the overwhelming, peaceful feeling that you feel when you're there. You're very comfortable. It's very warm and inviting. And you get an urge that why are you rushing me? It's beautiful here. I want to stay here. Can we talk? And just please know that when they're urging you to do things quickly, you need to do things quickly. And usually they're the ones who kind of force you out because they know that you can't stay there. And they know that your visit is very short and they need to tell you something. They've either brought you over or you've crossed over because you've had this urge to see them and to visit them and to be close to them. And that's okay. But like I said, if they're hastening the visit, if it's not a hastened visit, if it's not I need to tell you this, then you need to go, then you could be kind of in the in-between where they've met you a part of the way and where you've met them. and that it's comfortable to sit on a bench and just talk to someone, then you're okay. Listen to what they're telling you. If they're hastening that visit, that means you have crossed over further and you are in their territory, and they know that you cannot stay there, that you cannot stay long, because honestly, don't get me wrong, I don't know what would happen if you stayed too long. I don't know if maybe you cease to live here. I don't know. But don't take that for granted, or you take it at face value. If they're telling you you need to go, or we don't have long, or I just need to tell you this, stop and listen to me, because your thoughts are, oh my God, I'm seeing you, I'm around you, I'm in your presence, and you're gone, and you're actually standing in front of me, and they're just like, okay, I know, but I need to tell you this, and then you need to go, and you're just like, why? Listen to what they're telling you. Let them let you go, because you cannot stay there where they're at, and it's a very short amount of time that you can be there before. I don't know what happens. Maybe you stay there. I don't know. But listen to what they're telling you guys. How do you stop someone from hurting you in your dreams? You literally just have to put the light of protection around you. You have to, as you're going to sleep, wrap that egg, put yourself in that egg, fill that egg with white, blinding, protective light, and you say what can come in. No one can hurt me. Nothing can get to me. Even in your dreams, nothing can come and hurt you. If you do happen to travel out into the astral plane, then you've got that egg and you've got that white light of protection, and you've already said before you even go to bed what is allowed to be inside of that egg, which you always want to keep your God, your guardian angels, your spirit guides, and your ancestors. You always want, that are for your higher good. You always want to keep them able to get into that space with you. And you also want to say what is not allowed. And very much so would be anyone who wishes me any harm, anything who wishes me any harm. So say nothing can get to you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. That nothing is allowed to get into that space, and that you're safe. Yeah, that's a good call, Nix. You need help with that. Guys, before you lay down at night, put that light around yourself. Put that light around yourself. And to be honest with you, if you set the intention that if I get in a scary dream, or if I'm out there in the astral plane and I can't find my way back, if I'm scared or if I'm threatened, just say, I need Pam to come and help me. Because before I go to bed every night, I open myself up. When I put myself in that egg, I say that if anyone calls out to me from the astral plane, from the dream world, and they need my help, I will be able to, that message will be able to get through that shell and that protection that I've put up. And if it is in my higher good, because I still have to protect myself, I say that if it's in my higher good, then those messages will get to me and I will go help them. Now, I may not consciously, you may message me and say, oh my goodness, I was in a dream and I was drowning and I looked up and you were there and you were reaching your hand out and you pulled me out of the water. And that has happened, by the way. That is a true story, that someone told me that I was there in a dream. Now, it's not like I'm going to go, oh my gosh, I remember that dream. I was there. I knew that I was there. My gift is that I do that. And I don't always know that I've done that. Now, there have been times where I distinctly had the same dream that someone else had, and I remembered that I helped them, and I remembered that I was there. But that's not the norm. The norm is that people say, you came and helped me. You were there. You stopped something from happening. You said something was not going to happen, and it didn't happen. And it was just that fast. And usually it's like just a glimpse of me, or just hearing my name or hearing my voice. And just know, I truly believe that's my gift, and that's what I do. That I do go to help people in the dream or in the astral plane. Yeah, no lie, guys. If you forget, because I have done it, I've been so exhausted, like just got home from a long trip and exhausted, and you want to go to bed. And not necessarily forgetting, but I'm so tired that when I lay down and I start putting that protection around me, I fall asleep and I wake up and because something has just like startled me, and I'm like, oh crap, I did it. And so when I don't protect myself, those things can know. Those things know. Those things out there in the dream world and in the astral plane, they know that I have not protected myself, because they look for me. And they look for the times when I don't have my protections up. And it's very, very rare. So when they notice that, they're all over it. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I sit here, and when I say things like that, you found your box. What do you mean I didn't have to do that? I appreciate you so much, Amanda. Absolutely, I do that. Um, I don't even know what I was saying, guys. I'm talking about dreaming, like protecting yourself. You have to do that. There is no if, ands, or buts. And if you forget, I guarantee you it's not going to happen very often, because no matter how tired I get, I know. Hey, how are you, Jan? I know that I'm literally stopping what I'm doing. In the last 10 minutes, I'm going to work on my protections of me, my home, my property, my family, my children, my grandchildren, my pets, and anything that I own. I protect those, and I wrap them up in that light, and it is just something that I do. And if you have to get off of your computer 10 minutes early to do those things and to put those things in place, then you need to do that. But it's very, very important that it's done, because I'm telling you, things notice when you don't. Things, especially when my gift and those things that are out there know that that's what I do, that I help people, they don't want that. So they're the ones who really cause me to have to need medication to help me sleep. And I hate that. So all right. So we were also going to be talking, I'll answer some more questions about dreams as soon as we're talking about, we're going to talk about shadow work. So shadow work, and people are like, what does that have to do with dreams? You can honestly do shadow work in the dream world. You can do your shadow work. You may not realize exactly what you're doing, but your dreams are literally your sleep therapy. There are, when you're asleep, your mind, your brain, your subconscious, your soul is trying to figure out and sort out everything that's happening to you in your day-to-day waking life, because that's when you're the most open. So when you're literally trying to figure things out in your subconscious and in your sleep, a lot of shadow work, believe it or not, because if you're conscious of the fact that you're trying to do shadow work in your waking life, you know you need to do shadow work. You've been called to do shadow work. You know that your practice in your spirituality, you know that you can go up, 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 but you plateau when you don't truly, when you're not truly your authentic self. And the only way that you can truly be your authentic self is to merge the dark parts of yourself with the light parts of yourself. We can't always be love and light. It doesn't work that way. It would be wonderful to think that we could just live off of love and light. But we have things that are our shadow self, things that we were born with, things that we're conditioned to believe, things that culturally we believe in a certain way. We're raised by family members to condition us in a certain way, certain prejudices, certain ways of thinking that you know don't really align with you, but you have that ideal and you have those thoughts in your head and you just don't know what to do with it. You can merge that. You can bring that out and you can deal with it and you can merge with it and you can accept that part of you. But accepting that part of you also is accepting the fact that you're willing to work on those things. So when people are like, I don't know, well, I don't really know what my shadow or my dark side, I don't really know, how do I know what that is? Well, the easiest, the surface stuff, the easiest way to see what your shadow work needs to be started out with is by whatever you look at in other people. And it really, really, really bothers you. You don't like that woman at work, and you can't quite put your finger on it, but your personality and her personality don't gel. And you don't really quite know why. I just know I don't like her. If you were to go to work and you purposefully tell yourself, I need to know why whatever it is that this person is doing bothers me so deeply. So much so that I feel like I cannot be in her presence. And you start there, and you start, what is it she does? What is it that bothers me about her? Well, she's always judging other people. And I feel like she's always judging me, and then you're like, oh shit. Okay? I do that. I have a tendency to really not think about things before I put judgment on it. So what you saw so easily and so readily in someone else, that once you stopped and you stepped back and you took a look at what was really your driving force behind how you felt about that person, then you can see what it is you need to work on for yourself. And that's just surface stuff, guys. That's surface stuff, because I have road rage. And here's my thoughts on the subject. I'm in the fast lane and I'm trying to get somewhere, but you better get out of my way. You're not going fast enough for me. You move over. And they move over, and I'm like, there you go. And I'm trucking along, and somebody comes up behind me going faster than me. And I'm like, oh, hell no. You're not going to run up on me like this. I'm already going 80 miles an hour. Yet I ran up on somebody else and was willing to yell at them and tell them to get out of my lane. But I'm not willing to get out of somebody else's lane behind me who needs me to get out of their way. So that's kind of a little analogy about shadow work that you can look at for yourself. Why is it okay for you to bully someone to getting out of your lane, but you can't take it when that person comes up on you and needs you to get out of their way? So shadow work, surface shadow work, because you have to start out with the surface shadow work. That's the easy stuff. But you really, 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 to dive down deep into what you really need to do, you have to start out with the easy stuff. What is it about my job that bothers me? What is it about where I'm at that bothers me? What is it about the relationships that I have with my parents or my siblings that are so hard for me to deal with? When you start dealing with everything individually like that, you can start realizing that a lot of what you see in other people that bothers you is a lot of things that you've pushed down and you've repressed about yourself, that you have to be willing to let that stuff come up. And when you've been shadow working without knowing it, that you know how many people I've actually had when I sit down and do a shadow work course with them or a class with them, and I talk to them about this stuff, and they're like, I do that. I've been doing that. Is that shadow work? Yes, that's shadow work. That is the surface shadow work. That's the surface stuff that has to come out first so that you can deep dive down into the deep nitty-gritty of what makes you tick. And until you take a good look at that and you bring that up and you deal with it, you have to deal with it. And it's hard and it sucks and it makes you take a look at everything in a whole new light. In a whole new light. And you can start doing shadow work in your day to day. I have a friend who does shadow work with every decision that she makes, even to her meals. Or why did something that they just said angered me or upset me? Why is that? And she stops at that moment And in her mind, she writes that, like, what was that upset me? Why did I react that way? Why am I having this reaction? And when you do that, I'm telling you guys, it makes the stuff that you have to dig down deep to get to, which is repressed memories, repressed feelings, because some really, really, really horrible, ugly things can come to light. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's things that you have to deal with. You have to truly deal with that, and it has to come up, and it has to merge with that light part of you so that you are whole, authentically and truly on the surface. And I'm telling you, when you start realizing that you have repressed a lot of things, I had some things come up that I didn't even realize, I didn't remember certain instances that had literally happened when I was a child. And when I started remembering those things, I'm telling you, it is very, very hard, and it's very emotion driven. But I have released so much anger, guilt. I was horribly bullied as a child. And you know what happens to a bully? A bully becomes a bully because that's all they know. And I see instances where I was a bully to other people when I was a child. And I see that for what it was, for I need you to feel the way I felt because I need someone to understand how I felt. And I feel horrible about that, but that's how you get through it. And that's how you realize I've released so much from my childhood by doing shadow work. And it's beautiful. And it's worth it. But I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat this shit and tell you that once you just, it's just wonderful, because it's walking through hell, and it's walking back, and it's knowing that sometimes you get stuck there for a minute, but you still have to keep on trucking through it until you get there. It's hard, absolutely, it's very hard, but it's worth it in the end. You're right, Liz. It is. Months that you can't remember from trauma. That's an absolute. That's things that happen. Especially things that happen as a child that we repress. It's our little soul's way of tucking away those bad things to keep us safe, to keep our psyche safe, and to keep our mind safe. So we forget about those things. But as you delve into the basis, the easy stuff, it makes it easier when you start delving down into the deeper parts of yourself. You'll remember some stuff. You'll remember things that, if you're ready to deal with it, you can deal with it. But you have to be ready, which is why you have to do the easy stuff first. You can't just, you can get on a shadow work course online, or you can get a shadow work book, but they delve into the deepest, darkest, neediest, grittiest things, and it makes you think, I need to do shadow work, but I can't do that. That is very, very difficult, and that is very hard. So they choose to not. You just kind of push it to the side, even though you know your spirit guides, your soul, everything about you is screaming you need to do shadow work. Shadow work is the easiest thing in the world to just like shove in the corner and not deal with and not have to do anything about. But if you are serious about it and you start writing what you want to do as far as I need to do shadow work, you will start actually doing shadow work in your dreams without even realizing it. There's some mornings you're going to wake up with such a clarity and not know why. I went to bed with these worries and knowing this is what I needed to do, and I wake up with a strange sense of clarity about it, and I'm not really sure why. And that's because you are getting sleep therapy And as you're sleeping, your mind is filtering through everything that your conscious mind is having a hard time dealing with. And sometimes when you let your dream world and you let your subconscious take those and deal with them in a dream, you may not even remember the dream. You're just going to wake up with a sense of feeling resolute about something that you didn't feel that way when you went to bed. And it just continues when you realize, okay, something happened. I don't know what happened. I don't remember that dream, or I do, it just kind of doesn't make sense. Write the dreams down and write those key points down, and you will remember over a maybe week. These key points that you've written down will tell a story of what exactly is happening in your waking day-to-day life that makes sense. Even though the dreams don't make sense, even though they seem like they're just out in left field. Why am I dreaming about 2 blue horses running down a gravel road towards a burning barn? And you're thinking, what does that have to do with my day-to-day life? But as you are writing these things down and the story gets filled in more and more and more, those are messages for you. They're messages that are helping you figure out your life. You just, what do? You spend just as much time asleep as you do awake in your whole entire life. So you're thinking in your mind, what does sleep have anything to do other than resting your body and getting yourself ready for the next day to go to work? What could possibly be needed in spending half of my life asleep? Spending half of your life asleep has got to mean something more than just resting your bones and getting your body regenerated for the next day. It's using your brain, it's using your subconscious to figure things out so that when you are in that conscious state in your day-to-day life, that you understand exactly what that's for. There's no other reason we would need that many hours of sleep. And some people need 5 hours of sleep a night, and some people need 12 hours of sleep a night, because those people can, in 5 hours, regenerate their cells and rest themselves for the next day, but they can also process a lot more subconsciously in the dream state than somebody who needs 12 hours of sleep. It takes them longer. So everybody's different, but the end result is the same. We're spending our lives so much sleeping, but people aren't even scratching the surface on how important it is that our psyche is figuring out what's happening in our dreams that have to do with our waking life. How do you interpret your dream and what tools? Okay. So you can tell me a dream. Somebody could type out a dream. I keep having a dream about a baby crying outside of my window, and I know it's not real. You can literally Google or use a search engine and find out what a crying baby, hearing a crying baby. You can figure those out. What I do is intuitive. And I don't know if that's even a thing, intuitive dream interpretation. I coined that phrase myself because that's what I do. I sit and have a conversation with you, not just about the dream. We get to the dream, but we also start out talking about your life. How are you doing? How's work going? How are things going in your family? How are your children? How are you handling everything that's going on right now with your job and your life? And when you tell me the dream, I get intuitive messages from my spirit team telling me that this right here plugs into this right here that they're going through right now in their waking life. And we figure out what it all means. Maybe not everything. If I don't know, if I honest to God don't know what that means for you, I will tell you I don't know what this part means. But I think it probably will make sense after a short period of time. Now that we've brought it to the surface and we know that this is something that you're dreaming about, it may have something to do with this, or this, and then after a while, somebody will message me and go, that's what it meant. It took me about a week, but I get it. It made sense. It fell into place. I know what that means. I know what that stood for. Sometimes we just need someone to validate what we're feeling and correlate it in that dream. And that's what I try to do. Could we talk about the difference between animal spirits and spirit animals in a dream? So your spirit animals in a dream are the animals that are closely associated with your soul, that your soul has identified and probably worked with, possibly could have been in another life. Now, if you are just having dreams about animal spirits, meaning you're seeing the horse that you had as a child all of a sudden is showing up in your dream, could just be a beautiful visitation from a beautiful friend that meant so much to you as a child, as an animal. And your spirit animal is going to be, in my case, an owl. If I dream about an owl, I know that's a message for me, because it is truly an animal that is tied so closely with my spirit and my soul that it is a message. Always snakes, there's nothing wrong with that. That you could be getting a message from Medusa. You could look up deities that are associated with snakes, and it could be a message for you from that. I mean, don't discount it. And people are like, well, Aries came as a big black dog. Exactly. And sometimes it takes someone, and you get that, but sometimes it takes someone to sit down with you and to break down what that dream means, because you've just got this chaotic, this doesn't make sense and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with it tone. So when you sit down with someone, and that's what I do, I tap in energetically. I call my spirit guides in, I call your spirit guides in, and we work together and we figure out what that dream means, because sometimes they're just like, your spirit guides are basically like, thank you, Jesus, that Liz came to see you and talk to you about this dream, because we've been trying to get this message across to her and she's not getting it. So there's some reason that you were sent to me and brought to me. Your spirit guides could have been working really, really hard for you to go, you need to go make an appointment with Pam, or you need to call her or message her, let her help you. Sometimes you can get a really profound message because they know that there are people out there who can help you get that information to you. You have had owls all over lately. Yeah, and I get that it's that time of year. They're trying to make sure that they're getting themselves ready for the winter and getting things. But I'm telling you, if it feels like it's a lot more than that, then it is a lot more than that. If you're seeing an unusual amount of crows, or wherever, depending on where you live, ravens, and it's unusual, so much so that it makes you take pause and go, that was very odd. I don't know what more of a message that you need, that's a sign for you to pay attention. Because if it's just what happens to you every day, day-to-day norm, it doesn't seem like anything unusual or out of the ordinary, it probably isn't. It's probably just that your animals are close and they're around you. But if it's unusual and something that strikes you as, what was that? Did you notice that? Oh my gosh, that means something. So take note of it. Take note of your surroundings, of what's happening when those things are being brought to your attention. It could be a message, it could be a warning, it could be just them letting you know they're close. Message from Hogwarts. Yeah. You don't dream, you don't ever dream and can never remember them. Actually, you do. Everybody dreams. It's just so far deep down into your subconscious. And I'm telling you, you're doing a lot of shadow work in your dreams, because I can tell you that your soul probably is not ready for you to try to write some of those things consciously. So your soul is trying, your subconscious is trying to work that out when you are in such a deep sleep that you cannot recall them, because your soul and your mind and your body and your everything is not ready to know what got brought to the surface in a dream. You finally dreamt today, and usually dream often, but it's been weeks without a dream. Yeah, sometimes there's things that happen that our brain, our subconscious knows that we can't deal with on the surface. So we deal with that in the subconscious, in a dream state, doing your shadow work, having your sleep therapy. You can't even imagine how much our souls and our brains figure stuff out for us in a way that if we can't deal with it on the surface and consciously, and when we're awake in our day-to-day, our soul and our brain can deal with those things subconsciously. That's why you have to just protect yourself when you're going to bed at night, because there's no telling the things that your subconscious and your soul is trying to work out for you on the other side of that, in that other side of the dreams. Part of the dreamwalker tea could be causing, I don't know, but if you, I don't know when was the last time you got the dreamwalker tea, but I've changed that formula up on the base part of the tea that I use for that. And another thing that I like to let you guys know about the dreamwalker tea is it is not called dreamwalker tea because it will make you dreamwalk. That tea is named after me. It's my personal blend of tea, and it is to help you connect better in dreams, connect better, just kind of get out of your own head and connect in your dreams, recall your dreams, have more vivid dreams. It is not going to make you dreamwalk if it is not something that you are gifted with, if that makes any kind of sense. But it helps so many people recall dreams. I've been going through phases of having trouble recalling dreams, and I don't like that. I don't like that because I feel like my whole life and my whole identity, it revolves around my dreams. And I need that validation that I'm having these dreams. So I will, a couple times a month maybe, I think I needed it 3 times in the past month, maybe 4 or 5 weeks, just because I go through an extended little period of time where it bothers me, and I drink that, and man, it plugs this, it like unhooks your subconscious and your conscious and allows it to plug in completely with your dreams, and they're vivid and they're profound. And write them down, people, because some of my biggest dreams I've had after I've drank the Dreamwalker tea. But it helps you fall asleep and relaxes you. Yeah, it does. It really does do that. But you've got to make sure that it's not something that you're doing on a continuous basis. Now I have the tea that is for calming you and kind of putting you into that sleep state without, like the Mexican dream herb that's in that. You don't want to just continuously do those types of herbs. They're not something that's needed on the day. So, just like with any herb, your body becomes used to that, and you need more, and you need more, and sometimes that's not good for your liver, your kidneys. I mean, that's just like with any other medication. So just private message me and let's talk about the tea. And if there's something that I can do, yeah, peppermint would be good. If there's something that I can do to tweak that for you and just make it for you personally, then we can do that. But let's talk about it where we can figure it out. The dream tea, well, I have the Dream Walker tea and I have the meditation tea blend, which that is more, you can use it in a awake state when you're meditating, and you can also use it when you're going to sleep because it does help you sleep. But it also helps you to get really, the meditation tea puts you very focused and allows you to kind of sit back, kind of blank everything out, and connect. And you can do that in a meditative state while you're awake, whereas the Dream Walker tea is designed to drink and then go to sleep. I urge you with either one of those teas to not plan on doing anything, like take it later on in the evening if you're going to meditate. It by no means will make you pop positive on any kind of, it's not anything like that, guys. The Blue Lotus and the Pink Lotus that's in that are not illegal. They're just slight, has some slight psychedelic properties. And when I say that, that makes it sound like, oh my God, I don't want any of that. But it's not. It literally gives you focus and allows you to kind of unhook your conscious and plug into that subconscious and be able to remember your dreams, remember your meditations, get really profound messages during meditation. So they're two totally different things. Any teas? Yeah, that's the one that I'm talking about is the, I have one that's, you'll just have to go on my website. I can't even think of the names right now because I had to change all the names of my teas, guys, because I no longer wanted them associated with my past business. So these are all new. But yeah, there's one on there that is for, has anything that has the Pink Lotus or the Blue Lotus definitely helps with that, with the connecting to Buddha, connecting to the peace, connecting to that on that level. Yeah, that's exactly right, Angelina. I'm glad. Yeah, the tea, y'all, these teas, they are nothing that is going to make you go into this psychedelic state of I can't function, because I promise you, if your baby wakes up at 2 in the morning, you're going to be able to wake up with your baby at 2 in the morning. You are not going to feel like you've consumed anything the next morning when you need to get up and go to work. Now, I don't suggest you do it at midnight when you need to get up at 5 in the morning, because yeah, you're going to feel some of those residual effects of the focus and the kind of feeling like you're on the outside looking in, but not to the point that you can't function. I didn't design any of the teas that way. I designed them so that everybody can use them the way that they want to use them and still be okay. Yep, starting new and fresh. That's how I'm looking at it. And even the menopause teas, I've changed the names of all of those, and I've had really good results from those. I'm doing those personally because I went through, and that's why it was so passionate for me to make the menopause teas, because I went through menopause so early in my life. I started when I was 36, ended when I was 41, and I'm not on any hormone replacements. I just use the tea to help with that, because the teas naturally boost those, because I still have everything. So yeah, I worked really hard on the tea. Now I'm working on the inflammation tea. I got the last ingredient that I was waiting on to come in from my bulk supplier. So I'll be working on the inflammation tea when I get off of here on the live tonight. That's what my plans are. And also some new teas, some of the teas that I need to package up and take to the new shop in Pawhuska. So I'm going to be busy when I get off of here. But yeah, guys, these teas, you know, the meditation tea is fine for going to sleep, and it's also fine for when you're just wanting to meditate. Now, the Dreamwalker tea, I suggest that you use that just for going to sleep, because the Mexican dream herb in that's what it's designed for. That is what it's for, is when you go to sleep, that's when you feel the connection of the dreams, the vividness of the dreams. Thank you. Yeah, I worked really hard on that. And like the menopause teas, I worked for months before, I researched for months before I actually even put one together to test. And they work very, very well. I've had a couple of people tell me that they've had parts of their bodies feel like they're coming back to life after they felt like they haven't been feeling a lot of things for a while. So, sorry guys. Okay, we'll get off of the female stuff. But all right, so we are now where I can answer some of your questions about dreams. Now, mind you, I won't do dream interpretations on this venue because, again, my dream interpretations are very intuitive, and I need for people to sit with me, talk to me. Let's figure out what's going on in your life, how you're doing, how you're handling things, so that when you tell me what your dream is, I can correlate it. I tap into that and I can correlate it to what's happening with your life, and some things that you may not even have thought correlate to that dream. Also, dreams that are, like people say, what about a dream I've had since I was a child? A recurring dream that happened since I was a little bitty kid. That can either be a past life. You know, I've heard people say, I've had this dream since I was a kid, but I've always been a grown adult in this dream, and it never really correlated until I was an adult. Like, I've been having this dream since I was a kid. What is it? It could be a past life memory, that because we're so open in the dream state, in a dream world, in the dream plane, that bits and pieces of our past lives can bleed through and come through. I mean, if they can come through during a meditation or a past life regression, why could they not come through when you're asleep and you're at your most open that you are at all in your life, is when you're asleep. Or it literally could just have something to do with something you've repressed. And a lot of times, if it's something you've repressed, then we can talk about it, and we can usually come to a conclusion about what it means for you. And I've honestly interpreted people's dreams to the point where it just didn't resonate with them. They weren't really sure what that meant, but they trusted that it would mean something, and get back with me and go, yeah, I get it now. This and this happened, and this is what you said would happen from the dream, and it did happen. So sometimes things aren't just clear cut, black and white. This is what this dream means correlated to this. Sometimes it takes a bit of time for your brain to process that information, and when you go to sleep and you have your sleep therapy and your brain is trying to figure all this out, it comes to you. And things come to fruition, or things happen, and the dream makes 100% sense. And you know, it won't for me, but it will for you. It's just that I love when people get back in contact with me and tell me that happened. What you said that dream could mean for me came true. So you guys, and it's not me interpreting it, it's my people interpreting it. It's my intuition, which is my spirit team, that interprets that, working with your spirit guides. So if your spirit guides need you to understand this dream, it's going to make sense to you. All right, what are your questions? Hey, Mama, what's your questions about your dreams? Oh, Jennifer, I love you too, baby. I love you guys too. I'm glad y'all are jumping on and listening to my spiels. So we're talking about, and what I want you guys to understand, guys, is shadow work can happen on the surface, and shadow work can happen when you are dreaming. When you're resolute with the fact that in your conscious state you're wanting to work on your shadow work, then your brain can kick that into your subconscious, and you can work a lot of stuff out that maybe you're not ready to deal with on the surface. Vivid or lucid dreams, they seem like you but are others. Okay, so having very vivid dreams and having lucid dreams, those are different. People can have vivid dreams that they can recall every millisecond of every dream that they've ever had. They're so clear and vivid, like you're watching a movie. Now, lucid dreaming is where you completely 100% in that second you are in that dream can stop and say, this is a dream. I'm in a dream. And you can control that dream. You can make whatever you want to happen in that dream happen in that dream. That is a lucid dream. Vivid dreams, anybody can have either one of those. You just have to work at it. Vivid dreams are different than lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming, you know in that millisecond. It's not like you wake up the next morning and say, oh my God, I had this dream and it was this. That's just vivid. Lucid is when you know at that moment that dream is happening and you can control it. Now, in the very beginning, it's hard to control because once you realize you're in that dream, a lot of times it will wake you up and pull you out of that lucidity, of that lucidity of that dream. It's practice, because once you start realizing you're in that dream and it pulls you out, and then a few days later it happens again, there's going to be one time that you are like, I'm in a dream. And then you're like waiting to get pulled out of that dream, because that's what always happens. And it won't happen. And when you do, don't go hog wild, guys, because you can do whatever you want in a dream. But start out small. Just start out saying, I want to see my grandma. I want to go and take a tour of that dream house that I've always wanted and have it in my dream. You can come up with a whole world when you can control your dreams. Now, mind you, I literally thought that everyone lucid dreamed. I literally thought that, yes, you can ask for food, absolutely. I actually was walking out of a store, and I remember I was walking down the sidewalk and I thought, I'm tired of walking. And I literally look over and say, that Lamborghini is mine. And I reach into my back pocket and I pull out the key to that car and I click it and it bleep bleep, and I get into that Lamborghini and I take off. And I thought, oh my God, that's just one of the silly things that you can do, but you can do some really profound things. When you can lucid dream, imagine the shadow work that you can do, because you're safe in that place to do that and to deal with that and to make it go the way you want it to go. Not when you have a dream of a boyfriend die, tell him he says, I'm fine, and 2 days later he dies. Listen, that does happen. But a lot of times our psyche picks up on things that are their energy, and you have very prophetic dreams and you don't know what to do with that. That definitely does happen, and I'm terribly sorry that anybody has to go through things like that. But there are people who are mortified that they have a dream of somebody passing, because it always comes to fruition. And those people are highly, highly gifted people. And I know that it seems like a burden, but it's an extreme gift. In 2000, yes, I'm so sorry. So sorry to hear that. I did dream of 9/11 a year and probably about a year and 4 months before it happened. So that's not a good feeling for me, because I don't normally have prophetic dreams. My dream work is going into someone's dream and helping them. And then I struggled with that when I dreamt of 9/11. Was I supposed to go and help those people? No. It wasn't my role to save those people. It wasn't my role. And I don't know that I haven't gone to help those people on the other side. And that was my role there. I don't know what that was. But I do feel for people who are scared to death of their dreams because they come true so often. And that's just because you are so connected with the energy of those people in those places that you can sense and know when things are happening. You dreamt of a tornado before it happened. Yeah. Talk about protections while lucid dreaming and astral travel. Guys, if you never know when you're going to dream that you remember, because you're dreaming, trust me. You don't know when you're lucid dreaming. You don't know when that's going to happen. You don't know when you're going to travel into the astral planes in your sleep. So you have to protect yourself at all costs. Protect yourself every night before you lay your head down on that pillow. You have to wrap yourself. I put myself, and this is personal, I put myself in an egg, because imagine there's nothing more protective to what's growing in an egg, to whatever's growing in an egg, than its shell. That is it. That is its protection as it's creating itself, as it's being made. So I literally put that shell around me all the way, even under your feet. Don't just dome it over you. Put that all the way around you and all the way underneath you. And then in the top, I imagine the brightest white light that shoots down into that egg, and I imagine it filling up like it's almost a liquid. That it fills up and consumes that egg, and I have to see myself in third person for it to seem real to me. So when I'm picturing it, I picture that I'm seeing myself in front of myself so that I can visualize this clearer. But you have to say what can get through that. Because if you say nothing can permeate that, then that means your God is cut off. That means whoever your deity is cut off. That means your guardian angels are cut out, your spirit guides are cut out, your ancestors are cut out. If you have that strong of a boundary, you're going to keep those out, and you need them there. You need them to be able to get through to you. You also say what is not allowed to get through. That is where you say no negativity, no one who wishes me harm, who wishes me ill will. None of their energy can get to me physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or energetically. None of that is allowed to permeate through this shell and this light. So it's just as important to say what can't come through as what can come through. And you can also put that, this does not mean that it needs to happen that way when you're going to sleep. I do this before I leave my house every day. I do my car all the way around, even underneath, and I feel that shell with white light around my car, and I say what can come in, what can come out, what can't come in. And I protect myself that way. Before you walk into Walmart, you definitely want to put yourself in that shell and put that white light around you, and you say what can come in, of course, but you say no one's junk, no one's janky energy, nothing electromagnetic that is in that metal building can permeate through here. I'm safe. I'm comfortable. I shop with ease. I go in and get what I want and I leave. And that helps you guys. Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying. You can strengthen those during the day. You can even have your kids do it at school. When your kids start saying, I don't want to go to this class. Those kids are so horrible in there, and it's just, I have trouble focusing. Tell them to put themselves in that egg, put that white light in there, and that none of those other people's energy will get to them. Yes, oh God, people in retail, Jesus, you need that shell, and I would do an extra hard shell, an extra bright light, white light. And if you need to reinforce it during the day, reinforce it during the day. When you go on your lunch break, reinforce that barrier that you're putting up, because I'm telling you guys, I've had people say that their anxiety has gone from 10 to about 2. Just putting it in how protected you are, knowing how protected you are, that all of that just melts away. I promise you there's nothing stronger for me than doing that. So do you think you're picking up trouble spirits? No. No, that's rare. That's extremely rare to pick up any kind of spirit like that. You're picking up energy. Every person puts off a vibration of energy. You have people who are putting off a very low vibrational energy because they're stressed. They're very unhappy. They're going through horrible, horrible things in their life, and they're not exuding that to you on purpose. It is literally that they have never had a spiritual awakening. Their vibrations are so low that they don't even realize they're putting off. You've been around those people that you just think, oh my God, bless their heart. They're such sad people. They're such angry people. It's hard to be around them. They seem like really nice people, but it's hard to be around them, and that is their energy, and their vibration is so low that you feel that low vibration coming into your personal space, and it is extremely, extremely hard to deal with, especially when you're up here and you have a vibrational person here. That's those people at work that come into a room and suck the air and the energy and the life out of that room. And you see it day after day after day. It's because your vibration is here and their vibration is here. And those aren't gelling and those aren't jiving, because lower vibrational people attract lower vibrational people. Higher vibrational people attract like vibrations. And when you're feeling this down here, that janky energy, it's a hard pill to swallow, guys. But if you put this barrier up and you say that you will not absorb that, you won't. You put that barrier up, and you know what? It's not going to be 100% the first few times you do it, because it's a learning process. It's like going to the gym and deciding you're going to get on the treadmill. You can't jump on there and go 7 miles the first time. You have to work your way up and know you feel that. Energetically, you're getting stronger, and you're getting stronger, and your vibration is getting stronger and stronger and stronger, so where you are solid in that protection that you're putting up. Am I doing the kids' classes? Yes, I'm probably not starting them until January. But yeah, absolutely. I've had about 4 or 5 families who are interested in their kids coming into the children's program. And of course, the one that I had before I left, so is coming back. Yes, Joni, absolutely. The negativity that you're feeling from people, when you're putting that egg around you with that white light, that is a barrier. You're putting a barrier where all that janky energy and vibrations is hitting that, and it's bouncing right off. Now, it also doesn't hurt to carry black stones. I have snowflake obsidian. I have anything black, tourmaline, black tourmaline, all of that is very, very protective and puts up barriers that absorbs things, and you are not taking it in personally. Just make sure you're cleansing your stones, because they can only take so much of that as well. They're absorbing so much for you that you need to cleanse your stones. But your intention, guys, your intention of what you will allow and not allow into your personal space is all you need. Is all you need. If you don't have an access to stones, if you truly just can't afford to go out and buy black tourmaline, that's okay. Your intention of putting that egg around you, that's free. That's free. You don't need anyone or anything. You just need your intention of putting that protection around you, and that's going to help you. Hey, Amber. Yes, yes, and it's hard when you're, especially if you're very empathic, if you're feeling other people's energies coming at you, say in the mall or at Walmart or at work, where you're in a huge setting of people, and you can't listen. There's going to be times where you can't. For the most part, you're okay with helping people when you feel that energetic, like something's wrong. You know something's wrong. And you're okay with helping certain people because they go through a lot of things, and you don't mind that. You don't have to put that wall up. You don't have to do that. You can absorb what you can absorb, just enough to help people and to make them feel comfortable. But for the most part, you don't have to absorb anything as an empath. Putting that protection around you, that egg and that light, is wonderful for people who are seriously empathic and can feel all the jankiness and the sadness and the anger, especially now, because people are not out and about without feeling some kind of way right about now. So you can block all of that, or you can literally say, I will absorb what I'm allowed to absorb, to just feel what that other person is feeling. And if I can help in any way, I will help. Set those. You can set the level of boundary that you put up. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can set that level of boundary that you're willing to accept. You wore black tourmaline and it fell off of you. Well, you know, putting that egg and that light around you is not something that's going to fall off of you. I say that you should try that. Yeah, carry all the stones. Come on now. I have this huge pouch here that is filled with stones. I have a bag in my bra because I can't just put loose stones in my bra because my boobs aren't big enough. I'll lose my stones down and they break and whatever if I lose them. But yeah, I carry them, but I also cleanse them, especially when I'm out and about and I'm in public and I'm dealing with a lot of people during the day. I take them off and I put them on my selenite charger plate, and then I have a selenite bowl, and I take all of these off and I cleanse them overnight and let all that, so they're ready and charged and cleansed and ready to go the next morning when I go to put them all back on, and they're ready for another day. I have a hematite ring. You hear the stories about the hematite rings, that if you wear them and you are put in a bad situation, or it's absorbing so much energy, or you're in a bad place, that the hematite will break. I have had a hematite ring that I cleanse every day that I've wore since, gosh, May. And people come back in sometimes the same day they were breaking, like, oh God, yeah, I was in a really, must have been in some bad energy in that ring. Let me know. Well, I've had the same ring for months and months and months and months, but I cleanse it and I make sure that I take care of it because it takes care of me. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, when I worked at the hospital, every pocket in my scrubs had stones in it. And then I would wear bracelets, and then I would wear necklaces, whatever because I worked in a pediatrics, lockdown unit, psych unit. So yeah, I picked up a lot of energy that I needed to cleanse on the daily. And occasionally I would have something break, and occasionally I would keep bigger pieces in my purse, bigger pieces of obsidian or fluoride or whatever. And when I needed extra and I was sitting at my computer, I would pull it out of my purse and set it right in front of me and just take in let that fresh, clean energy that, it's putting off kind of take me down a notch. So crystals are wonderful, but guys, they're not the end all be all. Every bit of personal power that you need, you have right here. You have it in you, on you, around you. You are your magic. You are your practitioner. You are your doctor. You are your nurse. You are your psychiatrist. Every bit of power that you need, you don't have to look for it externally. You just need to just kind of turn into yourself and heal yourself and help yourself. And even when you feel like you can't, do it anyway. Do it every day until you feel like you believe what you're saying. Because sometimes it takes our human brains a little while to catch up to how our soul feels inside. Sometimes it takes our human psyche and body and brain a little bit of time to catch up to what our soul knows, because our soul has been here for a long time, and our soul has dealt with a lot of things, and our soul has fixed a lot of things in many lives for us. So you just gotta let it, and even if you're saying it and not believing it, say it anyway. And say it the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and then one day you're going to wake up and almost believe what you're saying, but keep saying it. And you keep saying it, and you keep saying it, and then you start believing what you're saying, because your brain is catching up with your soul's energy and vibration that you're carrying. But if you give up, you're never going to get there. You're never going to believe what you're saying and what you're feeling. Liz, I thought you said your moonshine is always with you. I thought, girl, moonshine. Moonstone. Okay, I get it. I have moonstone. I haven't carried it in a while, but yeah. Black tourmaline is wonderful, guys. It is wonderful. I even have a huge chunk that I keep under the pillow on my Reiki bed, because I want the person who is laying on my Reiki bed to feel completely protected. And they don't even know it's there. I know it's there, and I know it's protecting me, and I know it's protecting them. I also put selenite wands on every corner of my bed, so that just helps with the cleansing when I'm doing Reiki. It helps with the cleansing and the transmuting of the energy that I'm taking out, cleansing and putting back in. That just kind of makes a grid of sorts to where it just helps me. All right, what kind of questions y'all got? We got a few minutes to answer some questions. Hey, sweetheart, how are y'all doing? An asparagus pentagram now. Holy moly. It's seasonal. It's a seasonal thing. I think we are all crystal addicts. I prefer, I love crystals, don't get me wrong. Crystals are fabulous because they're so beautiful and they're so cleansing and they're so loving, but I'm telling you, I'm just as drawn to rocks that I find when I'm walking. And trust me, there's not really any precious stones or anything like that that are in my area where I live, but I can be walking on the river, I can be walking at the lake or in the woods, And if I'm drawn to a rock, it does not have to be anything but a regular rock. But as long as I know it's come from the earth, any rock can do anything that you set the intention of that rock to do. If you find a rock and it just feels so smooth and it's perfectly round and you just are drawn to it, hold that rock and set the intention of what you would like that rock to do for you. If you choose that rock to be protective for you and something you want to put by your bed because you want it to protect you when you sleep, and you put that intention into that rock will do that for you. If you want it to keep in your pocket when you go to work or when you go out of your home because you don't feel safe, you're scared of getting sick, put that intention into that rock. It doesn't have to be an expensive crystal that you ordered from Indonesia or wherever. It doesn't. It can be a rock that's in your driveway, and you put that intention into that rock and hold it and tell the rock what you need from it. That is what that rock will do for you. Yes, I've been drawn to regular rocks my entire life because I've never been able to ever afford precious stones or crystals or, you know, these wonderful moonstones or I couldn't afford any of that when I was a child. It was walking to the river and it was finding a rock that was shaped like a heart that I was so drawn to that I would stick it in my pocket. And my sons are the same way. They walk around and pick up rocks because they saw me doing it. I do it because I watched my grandmother doing it. Rocks are they're all from the earth. They just aren't. Don't all look the same. That stone can do whatever you put the intention and ask that stone to do for you. That stone can do that for you. Hagstones, yes, I have a boatload. I guess I don't now. They got left at my other place of business. So, but you know what? I can always get more, and I'm okay with that. I love hagstones. Yeah, I mean, come on, because I think anybody would love to take their children or themselves or their grandchildren to crystal shops and let them pick out what they want. It's not always affordable, and that's okay. Let them get one or two brightly colored, beautiful little rocks, but take them to the park or take them to the lake or take them to the river and let them pick out rocks, and they can write on them. They can put whatever they want on them. It doesn't, magic, protection, spirituality, none of it has to cost a dime. None of it. It's all in you. And it's, it helps people when they can visualize things like, I need this stone or I need this crystal because I can put this intention into it. Some people are very visual and need those guidance and need those things. I've always been with the mindset of I am my own. My personal power is here, and I don't need all that extra stuff. And that's okay. Either way is fine. Whatever resonates with you. If you need to put a huge ritual together and see a candle burn and see herbs that are scattered and oils that are scattered on these candles for this beautiful intention of self-love, and you drink the tea and you take a ritual bath, that's wonderful because that puts your mindset into visualizing and knowing and feeling and seeing that this is the magic that I'm doing and I'm working, and it means more to you. I'm from the old school where I don't need all of that. I don't need anything to help me visualize what I'm doing, and that's just how I learned. That's how I've done it my entire life. I grew up extremely poor. I couldn't have afforded to even go buy a candle if I wanted to go buy a candle when I was a child, most especially. But I could start. I burned little twigs. I burned little sticks when I was a kid, and would have them just kind of you know, set up like a beautiful little candelabra thing, but you don't need all the expensive things to make your magic and your power be what it is, because it's all in here. Oh yeah, yeah. They always say that if you look through the hole of the hagstone, that you can see into the Fae world. And some people are like, "Don't do that." I've done it. I've never really seen anything that scares me or makes me feel any way, shape, or form uncomfortable. So, have a rock altar. Oh, a child that he's been building for 8 years now. Yeah, I think those are wonderful. Have you seen people that have just piles of rocks out in their yard, or they've got them, you know, stacked up a certain way, and it means something to them? And I think that's beautiful. It doesn't have to be precious gems, semi-precious stones, expensive crystals. It can just be, I picked this rock up because I really loved it and it spoke to me and I felt it, and so I picked it up and took it home. Yeah, I'm the same way, Tara. I always wondered what it was like on the other side of people who could buy the candles and buy the ritual kits and buy the things that look so pretty. And I've come a long way in realizing that it's beautiful, and if it makes you feel okay, then it makes you feel okay. But if you don't have those things, it does not make your power or your magic any less. Oh my gosh, Amber, I picked up 2 days at the river. I probably personally picked up 100 to 150. I don't know what it is about. It's like my grandmother with four-leaf clovers. She could find them anywhere after I've been searching for an hour, and she could find 5 in the same spot I've been searching an hour for. I'm that way with hagstones. I can see one from a mile away. Aurora does. Why am I? Hey, how are you, Ricky? I'm not surprised that Aurora can find a stone anywhere. They probably talk to her and she takes them home. Yeah, I don't know about the rock identification apps. I've heard mixed reviews on that and the ones for plants, so I'm not really sure. Couldn't give you any. Oh, listen, there's nothing more sweet than when your child picks a flower, picks a weed, picks up a rock, brings you a bug. There's nothing sweeter. I miss mine being little, so. That's so sweet, guys. Love your babies while you can, because they grow extremely fast. My oldest son is 35 and my youngest is 28. And yeah, my 33 and 28, yeah. Gosh, I had to count. I have 6 grandbabies. My oldest grandson is 15. The youngest grandbaby is 7. You should love your kids. Yes, love them, because they move on, get their own ideals, and hurts your heart when it's not the same ideals that we have, that we wanted them to have, because they're our ideals and they come up with their own. But in the same token, it's wonderful to know that you raise them well enough that they trust their own intuition, trust their own gut on what direction and what they want to believe. And that's the thing. We get so upset because I'm like, that my kids aren't listening to me. They're not. Well, you raise them to be very strong and independent, and yet you're upset that they're not listening to you when they have a different ideal than you have, a different ideal on how they should raise their children. That's their children. It's your grandchildren, but they have a different ideal in how they want to deal with that. And we just have to let them. We have to let them. Yes, I do private readings. You can go and you can schedule a reading with me on nativedreamwalker.com. All my services are listed there. I do readings, all of my teas, the apothecary. If you guys just want loose herbs, if you guys want to buy some blue lotus, pink lotus, lavender, I mean rose, any of those, I have very obscure herbs, agrimony, I have, you name it, I've got tons and tons and tons of herbs on there if you want to go look. And I ship this month. I have free shipping, and shipping is not free. Do you realize for a small package it's $9.30 for shipping? But I'm doing free shipping this month because it's December and I'm out on my own trying to get myself started. So you're absolutely right, Amber. Thank you, Okie Vet. I appreciate that. Yes, I saw that. She had written it down on my schedule, Brittany, and I saw that, and I cannot wait to do Reiki on you. Absolutely. It's been a while. Yes, support your small businesses. It's what's keeping my schnauzers fed. I can't say my baby's fed because they're all gone out of the house, but you keep my schnauzers fat and happy. The website is nativedreamwalker.com, and it's on my link on the TikTok there. You can just hit the link and it'll take you right to my website. And if you have any questions even on my website, hey, can you get this herb, or can you mix this kind of a tea for me? Just, there's a way to send an email and message me, and I will get back with you. Oh, my puppers, yes, when I first got on, because I haven't done a live in a week, so when I talked, they thought somebody was here and they came rip-roaring through the house and barking like I was talking to somebody, which I was. It was just you guys. Oh, no way I would bring my babies in here. I just post a picture post their pictures on Facebook, maybe Instagram, but yeah, no, if I tried to get them in here, they would go crazy. All right, guys, I know it's a little bit early, but I've got some teas that I have to make. So if you guys don't have any more questions about dream work and shadow work and spirituality, then I think I might just cut this a little bit short. But I just want you guys to know that I love you all, and I thank you so much for your support. Things are really, really, really stressful right now with things that are happening with my business and splitting business, and things have gotten really out of hand and ugly, and I thank you guys for your support, that you trust me, and you know my soul, and you know my heart, and you know where I'm coming from. And where do you find out about shadow work? I'm actually doing a shadow work class, but I do private shadow work sessions as well, and you can schedule that on my webpage, where if you're far away from me and you're not in front of me, or you can't come to my office at the shop, then we'll do it by Zoom. And I do spiritual coaching, I do private shadow work sessions. It doesn't have to be pulling cards. It can be sitting here and just talking like this, saying, what's going on? Where do you feel like you're at in your spiritual journey? What can we do to help you get you further along in your spiritual journey? And then shadow work. We can talk about, I have a book that I can send you, a packet that when you do a private shadow work session with me, that has a lot of information in the book, and it's very basic. And because once you hit that spiritual plateau, you know there's more out there. You know that you were trucking along just wonderfully, 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 and then all of a sudden, like, it stopped and it stalled. That's when your spirit guides are trying to tell you that it's time to do some shadow work, because you truly have to merge yourself so that you can keep continuing to grow. And it literally, it's like you got to face some stuff, baby. You got to face some stuff. So we're going to stop right here. We can't keep going past this point right here until you deal with this stuff down here. And that's when you start feeling this urge for shadow work, or not even knowing what shadow work is. You're feeling this urge to, I need to get some things straight and I don't know where to go from here. I can help you with that. We can do a private shadow work session. Thank you, Tara. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, I had a business partner that I've just gone out on my own, and it's not been easy. It's been a lot of adjustment, and I'm trying to get everything going and started. And I just was thanking everyone for their support, because yeah, it could have, people could have taken the information that was given to them and ran with it, but the people who know me and who've been on lives with me and who've been in person with me, I hope they know my soul, and I hope they know my heart and where I come from. And thank you so much, Amber. Thank you, Nix. I'm trying really hard. It's hard. It's hard when people attack your integrity. I guess it's not hard when people's integrities get attacked that don't have the integrity, that are used to it. I'm not used to that. I'm not used to my integrity being called into question. It's not a good feeling, and I just thank you all for your support. Thank you very much. So yeah, we're gonna keep trugging along. I'm still going to be doing my lives every Monday night, and you guys are such a blessing that you've come into my life, and I can talk to you and I can teach you and tell you what I know, and if I don't know it, we can find it out together. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not a crier. I'm not one of those let's get on TikTok and cry. So if you don't follow me, I would appreciate if you would follow me, because I love to give information. And like I said, every Monday night from 7 to 9, it's a few minutes early. I'm going to get off here, but I love you all. And if you can come see me in person, I want to hug your neck. And if you can't, then we can talk on Zoom one-on-one, and we can do a reading. We can do a spirit guide. We can do a past life. We can do just an oracle card reading. We can do spiritual coaching and shadow work. It's all on my website, nativedreamwalker.com. Get you some tea. Might help you out. There's a wonderful on there called Peace Be With You, and it's for anxiety, and it's for calming. I have my blood sugar balancing tea. That is amazing. Don't drink it late. Drink it twice a day, once in the morning, but don't drink it very late in the evening, because it will give you like this laser focused energy that you do not want right before you go to bed, because it gets your blood sugar balanced, and when that happens, you get natural energy. So be cautious with that. But yeah, get you some tea and support small businesses, and I'll be getting more teas out there for you guys, because herbalism is my passion. Dreams are my passion, and Reiki is my passion. So thank you so much, Becca. I'm thankful for you guys. Oh, Marcus, hi. Yes, guys, I appreciate you all, and we're all learning together. So we're all just kind of navigating this strange world, and we'll soon be moved on, and we'll probably run into each other again in another life, and hopefully we're just as good as we are here. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys, and y'all have a great evening. And next Monday, let's hit it. Let's talk about it. If you guys get your questions ready, and we'll get it going. Thanks, guys. And I'll have this posted on YouTube, by the way, as soon as it uploads, so you guys can go back and watch.